going on today, YouTube? Back with another one, BWI2ATXF, the channel, and today, complete brake overhaul. We're gonna do the rotors, calipers, braking the system, bleeding the brakes with some fresh Motul racing fluid, and we got some Project New PMU brake pads. Additionally, and what we're gonna do today is everything's gonna be correct. It's gonna be torque spec. It's gonna be we're going to test for the lateral runout for the rotor to ensure there's no wobbles 100 miles down the road. Everything is going to be correct. So we're going to get right into it. So we are ready. We got 4 brand new OEM brake rotors straight from Bell Lexus. Highly recommend. Shout out to y'all. Also from Bell Lexus, we got the brand new orange calipers that started with the 2016. Of course, I'm a 2015, so that it wasn't eligible, but I really wanted these. Had these since 2021, and I'm just now getting around to installing them. Got the Project New PS, not the NC. I figured that the NC would be too mild, and we're gonna step it up on performance just a little bit, maybe get some track time in. Got the Motul 600. I got 4 of them. I got 2 more just in case. I'll send the rest back. And brand new OEM brake hardware. Like I said, everything is proper. It's an overkill. We got the rotor, the caliper washers as well, since we're breaking the system open. So as you can see, I'm pretty lipped up. There's no reason to save it, even if I'm within spec. I have no wobble or anything but overhaul, right? Getting rid of this rust. It's gonna be fresh black. These brake calipers are gonna be for sale. They have about 70,000 miles on it. It's nothing wrong with them. Like I said, this is just because I wanted orange. It made sense to eliminate downtime just to get some brand new ones that are OEM color because I wanted the color. Whatever. These are for sale. Hit me up. And these are the brake pads. Still got some meat on them, but overhaul. First step to this is to remove the pin. We already got the bottom one in, but once you punch it out, use a blunt tip punch. It is early. Blunt tip punch, start it off. Get something that you can grip the back with and start wiggling it out. This is all pressure and spring loaded, so to make it easier to get out, you press this back a little bit, wiggle it out, and that's gone. So now, this is free to move. You just pop these off. Same thing with the bottom. So the pin here, you can notice that it's flat here. Be cognizant of that. You're gonna take something to grip in the middle, just to get a little grip on there and start sliding it. If it's seized up a little bit, we already got this one out. Take something, kind of bang it in the back. You can take a punch or you can take another pin, bang it through. Once you get past that flat surface and it can rotate, feel free just to get some grips. This is exactly why, look at that corrosion right there. This is exactly why they say get new hardware, because you don't want to have to reuse this hardware whatsoever. It's already a pain. Feel free to tap it through, just play with it. All right, now you got this out the way. You kind of push it back. You really don't need to if you're doing an overhaul like this, but this is where the brake change comes into play. Just wiggle it out. All right, once you get it out the way, the piston kind of retract a little bit. You should be able to slip this out. And we're going to reuse this backing pad because it doesn't come with the Project New. Take this out. Be careful with this one because this is the brake pad sensor. Basically how this works is as long as this connection breaks, it's just a regular circuit. Once this breaks open, you got to replace it. Since we're at before interval, don't need to. We just remove the back. So feel free to use a screwdriver to get this pin out. Be careful. Use the back of it for the screwdriver, not the front, because you don't want to damage that. That's going to activate and kill the sensor. So just wear something in there. Take it out. It's free. So we got the caliper off the knuckle. It's gonna be 217s right on the knuckle. And we're gonna break this line open, but we're not gonna leave the system open for too long. Try to minimize that so it's right on the bucket. Twist it back so the line doesn't twist or anything, and that's gonna be fine. We're gonna straighten out the wheel, pop this off, and get to replacing the rotor and testing for the lateral runout. So we got the rotor off. You can see it's lipped up pretty bad, actually. Might be in within spec, but rotors are disposable as far as I'm concerned. Got the hub off. The rust is not bad at all, but we're definitely gonna clean it up for the sake of runout. And this should be a real quick cleanup, really. So you see this corrosion and the rust. It's not as bad as it could be, but you always want to clean this off. Using a hub, wheel hub cleaning set. I used this years ago. It lasts for a long time. Just a extension that goes onto a drill, and you're gonna hose this off, and then we're gonna come behind it with a wire brush as well. See how that cleans right up. Let's go around. In between, nothing extra is needed. Put it between. Just take your time. I'm gonna touch this up a little bit more off the camera, but like I said, take your time. So this is the clean hub. There may be some spots, but if you look very closely, there are grooves in the hub. And as long as you can fill those grooves, the rest of that rust is superficial. So all around here, after we touched it up, it's very clean. So now we're good to pop the rotor on and get the tested for the runout. These are called conical washers. This is specifically by Kent Moore. I'm going to put the OEM lugs on there. That way it's enough surface to seat on the hub of the rotor face, and it's going to emulate having the wheel on, and that's how you know it's going to be secure. And we're going to torque it to spec 80 foot-pounds. So we got the runout dial indicator all set up and on mount. I got the vice grip clamped to the tie rod, and I just used a shop rag to kind of protect it. Tightened it up and got the dial right here. We're going to go ahead and zero this out to where the zero is. All right, that's a 0. And what this does is test for the lateral runout. Lateral runout is the movement in and out of the rotor, which causes for brake pulsations. A lot of people don't do this. This is why I wanted to do it myself, because I know I'm going to take my time to do it right. No offense to anybody. You may or may not have to use this. You may get good results with not using this, but if you want to be sure, then you want to use a dial indicator. If you get less than 2,000s of runout, I'll put the OEM spec on the screen by Toyota or Lexus. If you get less than 2,000 or more than what the spec calls for, what you want to do is index the rotor. So this is when you unmount it, and this is torqued to spec 80 foot-pounds. I lost my wheel lock key. It's at home. But if you get more than spec, you want to take this off, rotate it 180 degrees, remeasure. So to make sure you have a good enough contact to it, you want to take the needle, move it, make sure it settles, and you see how it's still on 0 there. So we're going to take this as a point of reference. We'll just use this. This is actually working out for the better. And we're going to rotate this and just watch the movement. I got 1,000ths. This is the lowest runout tolerance I ever got. So I'm looking at less than 1,000. So this is good to spec. I'm not going to have any problems with this rotor. No need to index it. And I can proceed with confidence knowing that this is properly installed. Now we're going to put this caliper on. We did not break open the old caliper yet. The system is still closed. Pop this plug off. We're going to use it for whoever buys those calipers. Mount this back to the knuckle. Just put those bolts back in. I believe the factory spec is 100. If it's not, I'll put it on the screen regardless. But we're going to put this on. So we're gonna take this 14 off. That's gonna break the system. We're definitely gonna need to bleed it. And we're gonna put it on the new fill here. Got a new washer because by factory service manual, they say do not reuse it. You probably could, but just got it just in case. It's a couple bucks. So we're gonna get right into that. Went ahead, did the swap, got the new washers on, got the banjo bolt through 14 millimeter torque to 29 foot-pounds, and now we're good to bleed the system. So before you put the brake pads in and before you bleed the system, because the pistons are already compressed, you want to make sure that there's contact to there's grease on the places that are contacting the caliper. Factory service manual says only grease on the sides right here, and that's fine. So we're going to put this on the outside, do the same, and then also install the brake pad sensor there. And this just slides right in. Not too much. You'll have to align it with the pins. We'll get to that in a minute. Slides right in. Good fit. It's important to note that these Project Mu have a place for both sides. You want to put it on the inside. Looking for this clip. And the clip. Goes right in the back like that. Make sure you don't get brake grease on the pad. Pop that into the caliper here. We're gonna grease this up a bit. That way we can slide it in. There we go. Now we're gonna load it up with the hardware and stuff, and we got brand new hardware. This is not gonna be hard to get in. Flat surface goes in between the faces right here, and it should slide in relatively easy this time around. Everything is new. Look at that. I'll repeat the same. And again, I already said it, but this is exactly why they insist on you getting new brake hardware. Take this, I'll put the torque specs on the screen, and you're gonna torque that to spec. And we will come back for the to get back on torque. This doesn't need to be too secure, because the next step is gonna be to get this on here so the pins can cut across. Snip this in, rotate it back. This side is under, rotate it back. Now you got the pins. So to get the pins in, you want to go in through the back and make sure that the brake hardware is aligned. See how I had to do that? Push that through. And do the same. Come from the back to catch this in the right place. Now we're gonna take panel, just tap it up. So here we go, that's all loaded up. Got the pins through, got the pads through, got the brake with sensor through, new hardware, and we good to bleed this corner and then go to the next. Got one side done, it's looking real good. Excuse the wheels, you know I keep my car clean. This one. We're gonna go on to the other side and start on the rear. I'm gonna show you how close I was. I mean, I still had some meat on here, but not, it's time, right? Look at this brake pad sensor, wear sensor. It went through the plastic and you can see the wraparound wire. As soon as there's a short in this, it's a broke circuit. That's what brings the brake light on. And once that breaks, that's when you need to replace it. If you don't break it and that light never comes on for this reason, you can reuse it. So this one is a little bit different than the front. You just got 2 pins held in by this spring clip. You got 2 17s on the back, and that'll take it right off. Just punch it through like how you did the front. So we got a dial indicator clamp on this arm right here. Same as the front, just a different mount point. Locked it on the bottom. And we got 1/1000th of run out here, which is well within spec. Other side that I already did have nearing 2 thousandths of an inch, and I wasn't comfortable with that, so I did have to index the rotor, put the whole 180 degrees onto the other side, and it got it down. So this is the importance of testing for lateral run out. You may be able to get lucky, but why risk it? Just do it right. I forgot to mention, you do want to have this in neutral with everything, or the rear at least up, and it's going to take some muscle to turn this. But if you have one side down, you just want both sides up. So be sure to do that. So I forgot to mention, before you take that off of the knuckle, you do want to break this just a little bit so you can have the opportunity or the ease to go ahead and back that out with it off of the knuckle. It's easier on the knuckle. We already got it mounted up. These 2 bolts to the knuckle are going to be 92 in the rear, and the banjo bolt is going to be 29 again, but we're going to go ahead and drop this off and make the switch to the back of the caliper here. So this is the only thing that you need to do in here. Put this right here, and after you started the pins, and follow that. The spring should be right behind it, and this side is going to be, the top is going to be pretty easy because there's no load right now. Go down to the bottom and push that spring clip back. Get it behind the spring clip and line it up with the holes in the brake pad. Feel free to push that back for alignment. And you see this already aligned right here. You just knock these through until it's flush in the back. Oh, and then once you get them flush, they are little divots in these pins that the clip needs to sit in between. That's how you know it's seated correctly. So you see these divots right here. You want to just pull this over, kind of play with it, pull it, and it already seated itself. So that's not going to go anywhere. It's spring loaded, and the pins are already in. That's all it is in the back. It's very easy. So this is about a little under a week of driving. I did a good amount of driving. This is the residual. It's not too much at all, and it's very presentable. I'm gonna give it the finger test. You see that? That very light film. I can get away probably a few weeks, and you can't even see that one. So you really get on it. But this should give me a few weeks time before I even had to touch these. And yes, I know that these lips need to be polished. Let's check the front. This is what does all the stopping power. Can barely even see that. So yeah, it's uniform enough for it not to really make a difference, but They say low dust on these. They not lying. I am aired up. Do not talk about my stance right now. So I'm back at the usual spot. Probably need to find another one, but whatever. It's the final result, really coming together. The theme of the outside, just accents. Got the titanium tips, blue, purple, red, and an orange. You got the orange calipers now. You got the neochrome project kicks, lugs with the teal on there. You got the teal brake pads as well. But yeah, I'm real happy with the way everything's coming together. I got 2 more things I'm probably gonna do to the outside. I got a Lexus rear diffuser on the way, and maybe some side vents, but had to get this in real quick before the end of the season because I'm about to switch these wheels back. Orange license plate, exactly how I wanted it to be. So beautiful. Definitely adds a little pop to it too. So like I said, this is exactly how I wanted it to be. And installation was not problematic or anything. Took my time. I did have some issues with incorrectly tightening the rear brake pad, and that kind of heated up the head of the rotor. Was able to assess that incorrect. But yeah, this is almost the final form. Been another episode of BWI to ATXF, the channel. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate all y'all watching and the support over the years. See y'all next time.